Last night, Kiev didn't fall silent because the war ended. It fell silent because something was coming. Air alerts echoed across the capital. Power systems flickered, and within hours, reports began circulating of a large-scale missile strike linked to Russia's Oreshnik System. There was no frontline advance, no ground assault, just sudden pressure on the systems that keep a capital running. What happened overnight in Kiev is not just another strike report. It raises deeper questions about strategic signaling, escalation, and how modern warfare targets cities without turning them into battlefields. Tonight, we break down what is confirmed, what is still being verified, and why this moment matters far beyond Kiev itself. According to official Ukrainian alerts and international reporting, the overnight events in Kiev began with widespread air raid warnings across multiple districts. Explosions were reported in and around the capital, alongside disruptions to power and infrastructure systems. Ukrainian authorities confirmed missile activity, while emergency services responded to damage at several critical sites. Russian official statements later described the operation as a large-scale strike using the Oreshnik missile system, framing it as a retaliatory action. These statements linked the strike to what Moscow described as a Ukrainian attack on a residence associated with President Vladimir Putin on December 29th, a claim that remains politically significant and closely scrutinized. Independent verification continues, and international observers emphasize that assessments are ongoing as damage reports and satellite imagery are reviewed. The Oreshnik missile system is described by Russian military sources as part of its long-range precision strike capability. At a strategic level, systems like Oreshnik are not designed for battlefield engagement. Their role is pressure and signaling, targeting critical nodes rather than frontline units. This includes facilities linked to industrial production, energy supply, and military logistics, areas that support sustained operations rather than immediate combat. Russian statements following the strike claimed that the targets included drone production facilities and energy infrastructure supporting Ukraine's military-industrial complex. Importantly, these claims are presented by Moscow as justification, not independently confirmed assessments. From an analytical standpoint, the use of a system like Oreshnik signals an intent to disrupt capability, not to seize territory. Framed as a response by the Russian armed forces, this strike marks a shift towards strategic retaliation rather than tactical exchange. By linking the operation to the alleged December 29th attack, Moscow positions the strike within a broader narrative of deterrence and escalation control. For Ukraine and its partners, such actions raise concerns about critical infrastructure vulnerability, particularly energy systems that support defense production. Internationally, the strike is being watched as a test case, not just of military capability, but of how far escalation may move beyond the front line, while still avoiding direct confrontation with NATO forces. What is unfolding is not simply a military exchange, but a messaging contest, where missiles are used to signal limits, red lines, and consequences. And in modern warfare, these signals often matter as much as the damage itself. Beyond the immediate damage, the larger question now centers on what this strike changes and what it does not. Strategically, large-scale missile operations against critical infrastructure are designed to shape the operating environment, not to deliver instant battlefield results. Disruptions to energy supply and industrial capacity, even if temporary, can slow production cycles, complicate repairs, and force difficult prioritization decisions. At the same time, history shows that such strikes rarely produce decisive outcomes on their own. Instead, they extend pressure, stretch resources, and test resilience, both technical and societal. For Kiev, the challenge moves beyond immediate response toward recovery, continuity, and adaptation. For Moscow, the operation functions as a signal, asserting reach, intent, and willingness to escalate while still operating below the threshold of direct confrontation with NATO. What follows is unlikely to be defined by a single event. It will be shaped by how both sides adjust in defense posture, infrastructure protection, and strategic messaging. And as this conflict continues, moments like this remind us that modern war is increasingly fought not only at the front lines, but across systems that sustain a nation's ability to function at all. What happened overnight in Kiev is not just another headline. It is a reminder of how modern conflicts increasingly target systems, energy, industry, and infrastructure rather than front lines alone. These events are still being assessed, and many details remain under verification. What is clear, however, is that escalation today often arrives without warning and without the battles the world expects to see. Understanding these moments is not about taking sides. It is about recognizing the risks, the consequences, and the human cost that follows every expansion of conflict. As developments continue, we will focus on context, verification, and responsible analysis, not speculation, not sensationalism.